Now, for more on this, we're joined by Dion Lim, President and Chief Operating Officer of Simply Hired, a job site search engine for job seekers. Also here with us is Paul Saffo, a forecaster with more than 2 decades of experience exploring the dynamics of large-scale long-term change. So glad you guys are both here today. It was definitely a painful day for a lot of companies out there.
Still got a job?
You both are still employed, right?
Last time I checked.
First of all, what's your reaction to the S&P downgrade and the tech sell-off as it pertains to technology jobs? Paul, why don't you start?
Well, you know, the tech sector has been doing a little better than everybody else, but still the atmosphere in Silicon Valley is, to the question, what's the new status symbol in Silicon Valley? The answer is a job. So that people are anxious about jobs here, and I think this sell-off is going to make them more anxious about their jobs, particularly if their company has lots of debt.
Dion, is this going to directly impact the job market?
I really feel like the tech companies that were hit hard, and most companies were hit hard, is really just being caught up with the rest of the economy. Before the recession started, we had about 5.3 million job listings in our simplyhired.com database. Bottom of the economy, about 2.7 million. April of this year, back up to 5.3 million, but the last couple of months it dropped from 5.1 to then 4.9 million. I think that general fear that the economy is slowing is really what fueled a lot of the sell-off today.
So where are you actually seeing jobs being added?
So I think across the board, the last 30 days, it's actually been a little bit of a rebound across the board because of cyclical improvement in retail and as well as healthcare. In the Bay Area, of course, technology has been strong the last 12 to 18 months, and the hiring has really been in the social media area, the cloud computing area, mobile, as well as clean tech.
What's your thoughts on that, Paul?
Absolutely agree. This is an ecology where one company grows up and then you have other companies and operations clustering around it. So the multiplier effect of jobs coming off of Apple's success or off of Google's success, as your data shows real clearly.
Exactly, Paul. We were actually talking about the fact that a company like Facebook may only end up hiring 2,000 to 3,000 people themselves, but they create this platform on which thousands of other jobs can be created through gaming companies like Zynga. Companies like Salesforce may hire 5,000 people themselves. However, they generate hundreds of thousands of jobs as other companies are able to develop products on top of it.
That said, Paul, is anyone safe?
Absolutely not. This is a wild environment. Let me give you an off-the-wall example. Off the coast here, a couple of 100 miles in the ocean, there are what are called black smokers. And these are basically water volcanoes coming up out of the seabed because of tectonic action. And they come up out of nowhere in this Dead Sea zone, and all the animals cluster around them and grow like crazy and build this fabulous ecology. And then somewhere deep in the earth, they turn off the switch and they all die. And the next black smoker appears down here. Well, Apple is one really big black smoker. Google's a really big black smoker. And it's great as long as the nutrients are coming out. But everybody has that feeling like this could end at any time.
On that point, Dion, you know, the perception seems to be that if you're an engineer or designer in Silicon Valley, you have the pick of the litter, you have nothing to worry about. Is that true?
That is true. There are 40,000 engineers that are currently employed in Silicon Valley, and simplyhired.com's database has 13,000 job openings for that 40,000, so your job's pretty safe. But I think the good news is, even if you're not an engineer, there are actually a lot of jobs out there. If you look at a company like Google, they have 30,000 employees, 10,000 of them are engineers, but 10,000 are actually in sales. And so I think that all these companies in Silicon Valley that build great products, early on, engineering is a huge focus for them, but as their products gain traction, they need sales and marketing people.
So, Paul, maybe engineers are safe, or no?
Well, you can always tell the mood of Silicon Valley when you drive along Highway 101 and see the ads like, come work at Zynga, we're really cool, or, you know, Facebook, we have the best lunch catering in the valley. And that's happening, but it's still not safe. I mean, the fact is, there are a lot of people in Silicon Valley who can't find jobs.
And Dion, you're seeing some interesting trends in terms of big brands versus smaller startups.
Absolutely. The big companies like Google, in some ways, they really have to fight hard to keep their employees because the new generation of entrepreneurs, they want the big payout, the big IPO payout, and they know they're not going to get it at Google. And so Google is actually struggling to hold on to some of their top talent.
Paul, last thoughts. How do you expect this to play out?
It's a cycle. And every time we recycle jobs, the new job is slightly less secure than the old job, and sometimes pays slightly less money. So we should be grateful for what we have, but this is not a safe environment. Nobody's job is secure.
Oh, goodness. Gloom and doom. Dion Lim of Simply Hired, Paul Saffo of Discern Analytics. We'll continue to be watching the job market, and thank you both for your perspective on this.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.